As Major League Lacrosse prepares to take a week off on Memorial Day, we'll take a look back at Week 2 and tell you how the season is beginning to shape up. Plus, we'll go inside one of the fiercest rivalries in Major League Lacrosse. We'll check out the pro debuts of 2 MLL rookies, and we'll catch up with an MLL legend. All that plus the plays of the week coming up next on Sports Authority's Inside the MLL. Hello everyone and welcome to Sports Authority's Inside the MLL. I'm Jason Chandler. Week 2 of the Major League Lacrosse season began with Chesapeake traveling to Hamilton on Thursday. The week then concluded with 2 games on Saturday night. We take a look back at the weekend that was in our Sports Authority Weekend Rewind. The defending MLL champion Chesapeake Bayhawks moved to 2-0 on the season with a win over Hamilton on Thursday night. Dating back to last season, the Bayhawks have won 6 straight games. The Bayhawks once again showed off a balanced attack. Danny Gladding had 3 goals and 2 assists, and Michael Kimmel tallied 6 points on 4 goals and 2 assists.
Michael Kimmel had a heck of a night. I mean, he came on strong into last year. Last week he had 2 goals. This night I think he had 3 or 4 goals, a couple assists. So Michael Kimmel was the MVP tonight by far.
The Outlaws made the trip across the country on Saturday without their starting attack and their top-scoring midfielder. But their replacements were able to score enough to get a win over Boston. Connor Martin and Terry Kimmener stepped in for Drew Westervelt and Brendan Mundorf, and each scored a hat trick in the victory.
Talking to him in the beginning at halftime, we wanted to play like a team, and we felt if we went out there, communicated on offense and on defense. On offense, spacing and being all on the same page, and then on defense, understanding what slide package we're in, and we felt if we did that the right way, we would win the game, and that's what happened.
The return of the Rochester Rattlers didn't go as planned. The team fell behind 6-0 to Long Island and couldn't overcome the deficit in a 13-9 loss. Matt Danowski led the way for Long Island with 5 points on 3 goals and 2 assists for an offense that still struggles to put up big numbers but does just enough to win.
Last week we didn't play very well against Boston at all in the entire game, and we wanted to come out and start fast. Unfortunately, we let up there a little bit. We only scored 1 goal in the second quarter, I think. So it was great to get to a 6-0 lead, but we got to improve on keeping that gas pedal down, like you said, and not letting up that 6-goal lead.
Let's take a look at our Bryan scoring leaders through 2 weeks of play. Brendan Mundorf and Ryan Boyle are tied with 10 points apiece. Mundorf has 6 goals and 4 assists. Boyle has 5 goals and 5 assists. Michael Kimmel in third with 6 goals and 9 total points. 4 players are tied with 7 points apiece. Max Quinzani, Ned Crotty, Danny Gladding, and Matt Danowski. Quinzani has 6 goals, Crotty 5. And with the college season winding down, rookies are beginning to appear on MLL rosters. This past weekend, 2 first-rounders made their professional debuts. When we return on Sports Authority's Inside the MLL, we'll check out how they fared. Welcome back to Sports Authority's Inside the MLL. When Major League Lacrosse decided to move its draft to January, one of the reasons was so that college players could join their teams prior to June. This past weekend, 2 college rookies made their MLL debuts. The #1 overall selection, Kevin Crowley, and the 3rd overall pick, Billy Bitter. We check out how they fared in the Cascade Rookie Watch. Crowley didn't get on the board in his MLL debut, but there's no doubt he'll be a big part of Hamilton's offense moving forward. After the game, Steve Warzela and Brian Shanahan caught up with the rookie.
Joined now by Kevin Crowley, the 1st overall pick in the 2011 MLL Collegiate Draft. Kevin, first game out in the uniform there, 2nd game of the season. How did it feel to get your feet wet on the field?
It felt good. Obviously we didn't get the result we wanted in the end, but it's nice getting out there, running around. It's definitely a different transition from the college game. Tough to get on a flow on offense with these 60-second possessions and, running 2 lines. But, I think it was a good first game for me, and, I want to build on that.
Billy Bitter also struggled to get on the scoring sheet in his debut for Denver at Boston. Our Jillian Fay was at the game.
So Billy, you just wrapped up your first professional lacrosse game. What do you think overall about how the game went for you?
Personally, I don't think I played too well, but I think our team held in there. Even when Boston came back, battled back and tied it up. We have a great bunch of guys, and we never let up, and it was fortunate that we came out on top.
4 other rookies were in action this week. Jeremy Boltis from Hamilton was named the MLL's Rookie of the Week. He scored 2 goals in a loss to Chesapeake. Stony Brook's Adam Rand also made his rookie debut for Hamilton. Meanwhile, Villanova's Brian Karalunas played his first game for Long Island, and Dan Hostetler debuted for the Bayhawks. Coming up on Sports Authorities Inside the MLL, Jillian will take a look at what's becoming Major League Lacrosse's most heated rivalry.
A lot of guys played against each other, with each other in college. Brian Langtree and Nicky Polanco and Splina, those Hofstra guys. And then you have the Understein brothers who played obviously with each other and now against each other. So we obviously take it personal, and the games do end up getting pretty physical.
Welcome back to Sports Authorities Inside the MLL. We're 2 weeks into the 2011 season, and the defending champion Bayhawks are 2-0 and showing once again they'll be a force to be dealt with. Let's take a look at the rest of the league in our Ford Major League Lacrosse standings. After their win over Boston on Saturday, Denver joins the Bayhawks atop the standings at 2-0. Boston and Long Island are both 1-1 on the season, while Hamilton and Rochester are both still looking for their first wins of the year. Rivalries are one of the things that make sports great for both players and fans. Recently, a new rivalry has developed in Major League Lacrosse, and like most rivalries, there's no love lost between the teams on the field. Our Jillian Fay takes a look as part of our New Balance in Focus series.
Thanks, Jason. When you think rivalries in sports, there are a few that immediately spring to mind. Yankees-Red Sox, Celtics-Lakers, Duke-Carolina, and Steelers-Ravens. Over the past 2 seasons, the games between Long Island and Denver have taken on an intensity that qualifies the series as a rivalry.
There's just that, it's like the Chicago Bulls, Detroit, hatred. You have the Penguins, Caps, and then, you throw in Long Island, Denver, I guess.
It comes back to they don't like us, we don't like them, and frankly, we don't, and I still don't. And I can't wait to play them more than anything. I mean, more than any team. We know it, they probably don't like us either. When we go there, the fans can't stand us.
For some reason, every time Long Island and Denver play each other, it becomes a pretty physical battle. I think we bring it every game that we play, but Long Island kind of brings the best out in us.
And we've had some good matchups, some good rivalry games against them. Close games, physical games. That kind of competition just creates this bad blood.
I'm always with Splina, and we always battle. I know Brendan's always going against Polanco, and there's a battle there. Not only that, everyone else in the field has their own individual battle.
It makes for a fun game. It makes it really fun as a player because you're out there and you're going to get somebody's best shot. And they want to take the ball from you just as bad as you want to run by them and score a goal.
Despite the battles that occur each time these teams play, Denver overwhelmingly leads the series 7-1.
Because we've kind of dominated that series, won the first, 7 or 8 games against them. They've been kind of pushing and frustrated to, get back at us, even the score.
Well, from my angle, we never beaten them. So every time we get out there, there's that we want to beat them, and they're holding on to that. We're not losing to this team.
Obviously, it has to do with us, with a chip on our shoulder. They beat us pretty much every time we played them, and I can't wait to beat them on their own home turf, personally.
Long Island finally took its first win against Denver in last season's semifinals in Annapolis.
It was a relief, I think, all in all, but in a way, it's not like a thank you, we beat them finally. It was, it's about time.
For them to beat us in the semifinals last year is going to, I think, kind of raise our level of intensity in that game.
It comes down to the wire, and I'm sure it's not going to be shy of a battle, as you could say, for this year's matchup.
I'll shake everybody's hand afterwards. I'm not looking to take it off the field, unless anybody wants to. I just, as hard as I can, just know that game, that everyone should have their helmets buckled on the other team, because, we're going to come at them 110 miles an hour.
Jason, the Lizards and Outlaws face off for the first time this season on June 3rd on Long Island. I'm thinking we can expect to see another hard-fought battle between these two rivals, with Denver looking to reestablish dominance over the Lizards, who will be trying to show that their semifinal win was no fluke.
Thanks, Jillian. It's always fun to watch the Lizards defense battle the Outlaws' attack. Coming up, we'll spend some time with an MLL legend. Plus, we'll take a look back at all the best plays from Week 2 in Major League Lacrosse. All that coming up on Sports Authorities Inside the MLL.
Tom Marechek is one of the best players to play in league history. I had the misfortune of playing against Tom Marechek when I was in college. Right-handed wing shooter, forget about it. From the inside, had all the tricks, whether it's behind the back, between the legs, around the hip, one-handed, and he was the king of garbage. If you gave up a rebound or said there's a loose ball in front of the goal, Tommy Marechek was going to have his stick on it and that ball was going to be behind you.
Welcome back to Sports Authorities Inside the MLL. On Saturday, the Boston Cannons paid tribute to the United States military. They donned specifically made camouflage jerseys to mark the occasion on Military Appreciation Night. On the other sideline, as part of the Denver Outlaws, there are two players who put on our country's uniform every day. Our Jillian Fay caught up with one of them.
It's Military Appreciation Night here at Harvard Stadium in Boston, and I'm here with Adam Fullerton of the Denver Outlaws, a member of the United States Army. Adam, just tell me a little bit, what's your rank and what does your position require?
I'm a first lieutenant right now in the Army. I'm at the battalion level, and my job title is a fire support officer. Kind of confusing, a lot of military terms, so I won't get too much into it, but it deals with mortars and artillery for the most part.
And how long have you been involved in the U.S. Army, and what made you want to join?
I've been in for 3 years now. I'm on active duty, and then just getting recruited to play lacrosse at West Point at Army. Went down there, and that got the initial interest, and then with the whole event of September 11th and all that stuff, kind of the pride took over, and just felt like something that was right to do.
And you're actually going to be shipping out pretty soon again, right?
Yeah, I'll be heading out next month to Afghanistan. So.
And obviously with your commitment to the Army, you have a totally different training regimen, off-season schedule. How do you stay involved with lacrosse while you're out on assignments?
You don't. When you're out on assignments, when you're out doing training, you focus on your job, you do your work, and then when you get free time, you go. And this is my number one hobby, just like all these guys. Normal job commitments, they do that stuff all week, and then they come out here, and this is our release. This is where we have fun.
While Adam is on his way overseas, Justin Bachmeyer recently returned from a tour of duty. Saturday was his first MLL game since coming back. They both played a big part in the Outlaws' win over Boston. Fullerton replaced Jesse Schwartzman in goal and had 4 saves, including a game saver late in the fourth quarter. Bachmeyer registered a goal in his first appearance since returning from overseas. In the first decade of Major League Lacrosse, some of the game's greatest all-time players donned MLL uniforms. We'll try to catch up with many of these players throughout the season. We'll start with the legendary Tom Marechek.
I played in the MLL for 7 years, all with the Baltimore / later on Washington Bayhawks. Definitely had a lot of fun, good bunch of guys, good bunch of teammates.
Tom, one of my better friends, and he was just a lot of fun to play with. The things he can do with his stick and everything, and I've never seen a better crease guy than him, and put the ball away. And if you needed a guy to score a big goal, he was the guy to do it.
To be a great player, you need to be able to play righty and lefty. And sometimes people are like, well, Tom Marechek was mostly righty, but he could throw the ball behind the back with complete and total accuracy. So that was his offhand.
I practice these things on my own. You got to have fun with the sport, and I mix my shots up just to have fun. I wouldn't have played that many years if I was generic.
I think at the pro level, it was just so much fun to call Tommy's games. He always had the flair for the dramatic. He scored one of the best goals in league history, the between the leg shot in the semifinal of the MLL playoffs. It's a shot that no one would ever take, let alone in the last 10 seconds of a fourth quarter close ball game.
Yeah, I remember that game. It was a tight game against New Jersey Pride, and we were riding, the attack were riding, and I knocked the pass down, and the ball came to the middle, and I grabbed it through my legs, and I was going to switch to my lefty, and the guy came to me hard, and I just knew it was the appropriate time because Tierney wasn't ready, and I just threw it between my legs as hard as I could, and it went in.
Who's going to shoot that shot? He just was able to do that stuff and understood that those kind of shots win. A lot of people wouldn't do them, but those guys, the Gates and him, understood if you can do it, that stuff goes.
It turned out to be the winning goal to get into the championship game. So, I score those in practice all the time. So my teammates weren't even that surprised because they see me do it. But to do it in a game, kind of ballsy, yeah. But it worked, and and it was fun.
Marechek and the Bayhawks went on to win in 2002 and 2005. He retired from the MLL in 2007. and has been coaching ever since.
And I've been coaching here at Glenelg Country School for 15 years now. You know, it's a sport that's instilled in you. You know, I played the sport for 39 years, and it's always been good to me, and I just wanted to give back to the kids. Seeing the kids that weren't maybe a great lacrosse player to improve to that level, sending kids to Division III schools, some Division I, it puts a smile on my face.
Tom Marichek's goal in the 2003 MLL semifinals was one of the most memorable goals in the history of Major League Lacrosse. Coming up, we'll take a look at some of the top plays from Week 2 of the 2011 season. Sports Authority's Inside Major League Lacrosse is brought to you by Sports Authority. Sports Authority is proud to be the official sporting goods retailer of Major League Lacrosse and just as proud to bring the good in sport to you. Sports Authority, all things sporting good. Ford Motor Company is proud to sponsor Major League Lacrosse. Find your reason to drive one, Ford. And by Powerade. Welcome back to Sports Authority's Inside the MLL. Week 2 was full of some great action. Let's take a look back at all the top plays from last weekend.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Boy, Brett Garber, that's all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air.
By Brett Garber as he buries it. Ball loose, they whack at it, scooped up in front by Berger, sweep shot, score!
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air.
Just loves the game. Double team in front, the shot scored. Keith Cromwell.
Win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air.
Love to see when sports expand. What a move in front and a score.
Don't go for takeaway checks.
Great pass down low, score.
Win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Major League Lacrosse will take Memorial Day weekend off in 2011, but for lacrosse fans, this is NCAA Championship weekend in Baltimore, Maryland. The 4 remaining teams have plenty of MLL draft picks on their rosters for you to watch. We'll take a look at our Warrior weekend preview. The Maryland Terrapins had 5 players chosen in January's draft, including the national quarterfinal hero Grant Catalino, who led the team in goals during the regular season with 25. The attackman went 21st overall to Denver. Ryan Young, who had 3 assists in the quarterfinal, was taken 23rd by the Long Island Lizards. Young led Maryland with 43 points in the regular season on 19 goals and 24 assists. The first Terrapin taken was defenseman Brian Farrell, who went 12th overall to Boston. Farrell had 7 goals and 6 assists on the season to go with 32 ground balls. The defending champion Duke Blue Devils only had 2 players taken. Tom Montelli went 26th overall to Rochester, and attackman Zach Howell was taken with the 46th pick by Boston. Howell led the Blue Devils with 42 goals on the season. While he did not score in the quarterfinal, he did have 4 goals in the first-round victory over Delaware. The University of Denver only had 1 player taken, midfielder Andrew Lay, who was chosen 39th overall by the Outlaws. The Virginia Cavaliers had the only first-round pick among the national semifinalists since Shamel Bratton, who went 4th to Boston, but he and his brother Ramel, who went 17th overall to Long Island, are no longer with the Cavaliers. The only Virginia player who was drafted who we know will be playing this weekend is goalkeeper Adam Gittleman, who was taken 45th overall by Denver. Major League Lacrosse will return to action in June with 2 games on the schedule. Both games are rematches from the 2010 MLL semifinals. On Friday, June 3rd, Denver travels to Long Island to take on the Lizards, and on Saturday, June 4th, Chesapeake will be in Boston to take on the Cannons. Also a reminder that you can be part of the 2011 MLL season by playing Warrior MLL Fantasy Lacrosse. You can join the game at MajorLeagueLacrosse.com and compete for weekly prizes against other MLL fans. For more details and information, click on the fantasy link on the website. And that will do it for this week's episode of Sports Authorities Inside the MLL. For Jillian Fay, I'm Jason Chandler. Thanks for watching.